Yes, people, and welcome to another little live video of the Ghostoul Podcast. So, yes, welcome. Today's topic, your favourite haunted location. That's what I'm after. And that is what we're going to chat about, because everybody has their favourite location. Everybody has been to a haunted place, a location, and they think, oh my God, I have to go back. Because, you know, we all have awesome places, our favourite places. Now, if you guys in the comments can tell me, I'm trying to find this video that we are actually live on so I can share it. Found it. We have found it, people. I do apologise. This is the boring bit. This is the bit that, no one likes. But I do apologise. I need to share it out. So, anybody is here, come and say hello. And we can chat. So, copy the link, put this on. I do apologise, guys. But this is what you got to do. You got to share it about. You got to get people involved. And there we are. Let me know who is here. Yeah, this is a boring bit. I do apologise. But anyway, I've got lots of favourite locations that I've been to over the years. There are some in this country, some in another country. And, you know, some places leave something on you. You know, like for me, one of my favourite places is St Crispin's Mental Asylum in my hometown of Northampton. Now, this place is obviously an old asylum. It is very, very spooky. Mr. Rich is in the building. He is driving. I'm sure he will be up for coming on and having a chat. Thank you so much, Rich, for being involved. Do appreciate that, mate. Do appreciate that. Guides. He's going guides, is he? I hope you've got your uniform on. Mr. Kev Kerr is in the building. Hello, sir. How are you? Hope you are well on this lovely autumnal evening. Nearly winter. I tell you what, it's getting cold out there, people. When you're digging graves in this weather, it's not good. But, you know, the bigger picture and all that. So, tell me your favourite location that you've been to. What is the location that if you could advertise and promote it, where would it be? Nice one. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you so much for asking. It is always good to speak to the public. Got to speak to the people and have a lovely spooky chat, because that's, you know, that's what we're into. This is our field of expertise, as it were. And we would just like to have a back and forth about haunted locations this week. So yeah, this is what we're going to do. Just to let you guys know, there will not be a live next week. It will be an episode with Paul Allen. Shout out to Scarlett. She's next to me. Hello, Scarlett. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope your dad's being a good boy. Probably not, but you know, I'm sure you're good. So yeah, Woodchester Mansion, Jamaica Inn, Walton Castle. Now, Woodchester Mansion is on my near top of my list. Amazing place, but I've only ever been there when it's been very busy. Too many guests at the location on the ghost hunt. I've never hired it privately, as it were. It's always been like on a ghost hunting team's event. I think I've been 3 times, and every time I've had some good stuff, but obviously it's not the best when you can hear the other groups in different rooms and they sound like they're so close. So I would love to go back to the Woodchester Mansion just to see what it's like when there's less people there. Lorian, hello, how are you? Hope you're well. Welcome, thanks for joining. And tell us your favourite location. I'm sure a pub is involved in your favourite location. So yeah, going back to Kev's list, Jamaica Inn, amazing place, so much history. You can't get a better stereotype of an old haunted pub. You know, it's so good. You've got the history, you've got the look, you've got the ghosts, you've got the stories. It is just phenomenal. Walton Castle, not really. I've never really heard of that place. I take it it's down that way though. Is it Somerset Way? I've heard Karen talking about it before. Alton Towers. What, the Nemesis? Is the Nemesis haunted or is it Oblivion? No, I'm sure you mean the castle, don't you? For Alton Towers. Okay, Walton Castle is in Bristol. Okay, I'll have to have a little read up about that. I definitely like going to new locations. Not very well known. No, it's not. I mean, like I said, I've only heard Karen talking about it. But then again, sometimes those are the best locations. The ones that aren't done to death, like East Drive, like the Ram. You know, I mean, although the Ram is on my list of, you know, near the top of my list, because it just has to be. It's just, you know, so many things experienced there. Fucking expensive. What, Walton Castle? Which says Cannock Chase, the place has endless possibilities. Jamaica Inn, you know my story with Scarlett over breakfast. Yeah, I believe Rich was there with his daughter, and was it the salt pot moved across the table? I think I'm remembering that right. If not, correct me, Rich. Obviously, when you stop driving, it's got to be safe and all that. Yeah, it's insane amounts to hire. Ooh, I'm gonna have to Google that place, you know, just to see what it looks like, because this place sounds spooky. Yeah, it was the salt pot went across the table. Unfortunately, Kev, that's what happens nowadays. People they see a gap in the market, and if they have any stories of possible hauntings in their location, they're like, right, they see the money, they see the cash, and that's it. They jump on it. You know, is it fair play to the business? I mean, if you're ripping people off, then, you know, no. But yeah, Alton Towers Manor, Hex is built into part of it, so haunted, but they've stopped allowing investigations. I've been in the Hex in the daytime, and it was pretty freaky when you sat down and the room starts spinning and you're like, ugh. I had to close my eyes. I couldn't do it anymore. But I've never been to Alton Towers, so not for a ghost hunt anyway. Now I know lots of teams used to go there. I always seen them advertised on Facebook about Alton Towers, and I thought, but never actually been there for that reason. Ghost tax, yes, Rich, you're right. You know, people throw up the price. They see all they see is the pound signs, unfortunately, and it's not good for us that want to hire it. It's not good for events companies, because obviously they wanna book it, and then they have to charge their guests even more money. You know, it's an endless cycle of money for these locations, unfortunately. Now I'll tell you a little story about the Ram while we're on expensive stories. When I went to film there, I've been there a few times, the Ram. Normally only paid about $250 to hire it, normally during the week. Some were when John was still there, and others after John had passed. And yeah, like I said, it was about $250, $260, something like that. Now, the last time I went, it was with Daz's Ghost Hunts, and when Caroline realised that it was Daz Black, etc., going to hire this place and to spend the night, she put the price up to £1,000. And it's like, because obviously, there you go, famous YouTuber, he's got money, they're going to make money off the video, I'm going to put the price up. But yeah, that's just an example of like the YouTube tax. We'll call it YouTube tax along with the ghost tax. It's not good. It's not, it's put me off going back to the RAM. Now I'm sure Caroline does not care about me going back or not. Fair play to her. She's got to run a business, and that's, it is what it is. But it has put me off going back there. Now I'm not saying this to put her in a bad light. This is fact. I've got it all on like messages in that email. So yeah, it's not good. But it's the same with East Drive. I mean, why East Drive is booked out every single night of the year for like the next few years shocks me. You think that the ghosts are really going to be sitting there thinking, oh yeah, more people? I don't think they are. They should have different charges, one for events, individual teams of production. Exactly. It's not, if you're a TV company with production, etc., then yeah, charge them what you want, because the TV, they'll splash the cash. But if you've got a small team, like say 3 or 4 of you in your team, or even friends that want to join up, like a couple of teams together, don't charge them the earth. It's not good. And events companies, obviously they're able to charge a bit more and pay a bit more because they'll have more guests, etc. If I wanted to hire the RAM myself, I don't know how much it would be nowadays. I'm sure there's different prices on different days, but I think it's run basic like a proper business now. Whereas before, when John was there, it was a bit different. It was like, oh yeah, that's fine, just pay us that. But I mean, which is fair enough. Everyone's got to make a living, but the thing about the RAM, yeah, they're always saying that John saved the RAM, bless him. God rest his soul. And all the money that they get from these ghost hunts, these companies, these TV people that go there all the time, these American YouTubers, they're paying them all this money, but you don't really see any changes to the RAM for like the upkeep. I mean, I'm sure there is, but it's not visible really. Now obviously they cleared out a lot of John's stuff and all the clutter that was there when he was there, but I've not really seen a difference, which is a shame. I mean, the outside could do with painting. I mean, structurally that doesn't do much, but it makes it look a bit better. But I'm not picking on the RAM, honestly. Caroline, do not sue me. Your dad was a legend, and he still is a legend. So, but but there we go. It looks creepy though. What, the RAM? Well, because it looks like it's falling apart still. Did anyone ever go up them stairs? Like to the attic? Back in the old days, when John was there was a sign, and it said, be wary of the floorboards or something. Fat women have been upstairs. Now, when the first time I saw this, I thought, oh my God, he actually said that. He actually wrote that and stuck it on a sign for everybody to see every single day. Lorraine wants to know, what is my favourite location? Now, obviously, St Crispin's Mental Asylum near me has given me such amazing things over the years. There's not much of it left. It's had like a 4th stage of demolition done to it. 2 buildings left. Rich, who's in the comments, he's been there on a few times with me and had amazing stuff there. I've seen full-bodied apparitions on more than one occasion. Voices, things thrown, the feelings you get. I mean, one of the times I went there, I just cried, bawled my eyes out for no reason. So yeah, it looks creepy because it's not been kept very good. Need that sign for my stairs. What, the RAM sign? Oh dear. But yeah, I always say St Crispin's because it is. If I could live there, if I could buy a flat where they've knocked the buildings down, then that's where we'd be. We should all go. Yes, I would love to grab everybody together and just go on site. That'd be amazing. But yeah, like I said, Crispin's has always been number one. But I also have a thing for the Hellfire Club in Dublin. You have, like I talked about earlier, connection to the locations, and I have that connection with Crispin's. You have not just I've been ghost hunting there level or investigating level. It's like something draws you back. You like take a piece of it inside yourself. I know that sounds really weird, but that's how I feel. And also the same with Dublin Hellfire Club on top of Montpellier Hill. Something about that place is not good. Like the scariest place I've ever been to. Yes, Mr. York. I take it Mark is in the building now. Hello. Woodchester Mansion is mine. That plate just resonates with me. Yes, so Kev, you understand the connection you get with certain locations. You have like an attachment to it in a weird sort of way. Does anybody else have any like attachment, not attachment, but you know what I mean, a connection with a location? I'm sure Mark and Rich have, that I know about. Whether, for a good reason or a bad reason. Yeah, totally. Yeah, down in the cellar in Woodchester Mansion was a place for me that I saw my first ever ghost spirit. There's a black figure ran at me. I was there with my mum. And it's definitely a place that I'll never forget. I'll never forget that cellar down the stairs to the right in the corner, the far room. Crazy. Mark's is cash as well. Yeah, I thought that. There's some. It seems to be the dark things, the dark locations that people seem to have a connection with, if that makes sense. I suppose you don't want a happy place, do you? Yeah, I love this place. It's so happy. It makes me, Nah, maybe not. Hey, everyone. Hello, Charlie. Welcome along. Hope you are good. Absolutely. Hill House. Now, that is the house that I've seen Mark Dead Cold go to. Lorian, I think you were in his video. Am I right? He told me about that location. And you were hearing footsteps and bangs, and you two were not moving, from what I remember. I saw the video a while ago. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, Kev. Kev was in the corner. I do apologise. Tell me your experiences of that place. Am I right with what I said? So, Rich, places that are not run-of-the-mill. I like derelict places, churches, abbeys, battlegrounds. Casheswell in Essex was intense. That was where we caught our demon that I wrote about in Haunted magazine. Yes, that is a location that I do want to go to with you boys, and possibly camp out there as well. Now, I do like the dark side of the paranormal, because in life I am drawn to negativity. Don't get me started. For whatever reason, it just seems to have like Kev says, certain things resonate with you, and I think I'm sort of attracted to the darker side. Did you get anything from Englefield Green not so long ago? Sorry, I missed it. We were at Englefield Green for Mark and Rich's event. It was quite a good event, to be fair. We had some good stuff, some good activity. I think that the scrying that Rich was doing had some very, very interesting results. And also on the spirit box upstairs in the costume area, I think was pretty good as well. People had like bangs in a cupboard that was on its own. No one was in the cupboard, and the only way you could get to it was in this room, and people at the door. So nobody was moving, and it was a good night. You did miss out. It was a good night. Crazy place, not usual haunting, that's for sure. Oh, is that Hill House? Just so that I sort of get my head around it. Whereabouts, like a generalised area, is Hill House in the country? If you could tell me that. Obviously, don't give away the location. Yeah, that's right. I've been going back to Hill House a couple of times a year since 2017. It got me. We went back with Ouija Brothers too. Oh, okay. Did you get different results, different activity with them than you did with Mark? Apparently there is something in the woods that makes you want to hurt people. So with your track record on being affected, Miki, we are protected and ready for you. Bring it on! Yeah, it's... I don't know. I always seem to be affected in a negative way. So... yeah, we got nothing. Oh, okay. You say it wasn't as good the second time then. Well, the time after that one anyway. I suppose it's different how you investigate. I'm sure the Ouija brothers are more active within, like, trying lots of different experiments. Now I know obviously Mark does and you guys do, but Mark is quite laid back and chilled, isn't he? Whereas the Ouija brothers are a bit rah, which sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work for spirit communication. Sometimes it is good to be just chilled out, but other times it is good to like try and raise the bar a little bit and to try and cause a reaction. So I think it just depends on the location. It depends on the night. You could go there 5 times a week and every night is different. You might get nothing for 4 nights and then the 5th night would be amazing. More entertaining, we call it. What's more entertaining? Pray tell, Mark. Let me know. So yeah, going back to the Hellfire Club, that place is derelict. You have to walk through a wood or forest to get there, up a hill, and it's just sat there on its own, looking over Dublin, and it's all lit up with all the house lights and the businesses. Absolutely amazing. But when you look there, you look back at the location, like midnight, everything is dark. You can just about see the outline of it, and your heart starts beating, and you think, I've got to go in there. It's not a nice thought, and I was shitting myself, to be fair. Now, I've only ever been like that once, and that was the first time I ever went to the Ram, but that was mainly due to all the TV shows I'd seen on the Ram. I hadn't been there, obviously. It was my first time, and I was like trying to get all this protection, trying to think, please don't get me, demons, leave me alone, So sometimes it's good to believe in the hype, other times not so good. But Hellfire Club Island was intense and such a very eerie place. Yes, Mark and Rich were there with me. It's such a nice place. Very scary, yeah. In the daytime, it's nice and peaceful, nice and chilled. But at night time, it takes on a different story. Yeah, so the first year we went there, it was just me and Mark in there. I remember watching you do your lone vigil in the Hellfire. Yeah, I was stuck halfway up the stairs. I sat on the staircase, and we had performed some sort of like a little fire ritual thing, and we were playing the Lord's Prayer backwards, and I recorded it on voice recorder, and I hadn't listened to it to see if anything was coming through. Probably wasn't. And the plan was for myself to go and sit there halfway up the staircase on my own and play this on speaker. Wow, I was hearing like footsteps around me. Mark was outside with all our bags and things, and he wasn't near the building, and there was no one else there, just us two. And that that was the night that I thought, what am I doing? I'm sat here listening to the Lord's Prayer backwards, hoping to have something come through, something negative, something evil, as it were. Yeah, not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. So pubs, one of my favourites is the Prospect of Whitby in London on Execution Dock, where pirates were hanged on the banks of the Thames, said to be haunted by prostitutes and pirates, and Judge Jeffreys. Judge Jeffreys has been everywhere. He's like Cromwell. Now, I think I remember you talking about this with Justin on the Paranormal Monkey podcast, Lorian. That was pretty cool. That I do remember you talking about. There's a few pubs that were quite close by, weren't there? Is this your favourite pub? I think you responded by saying that was your favourite pub that you enjoyed investigating. More scary you doing it or me outside with a banshee? Yeah, Mark was on his own in the forest. That forest is not a good look at all. But even in the day, you've seen its potential for shitting one's pants. Yeah, it is definitely. It's, you know, I advise anybody that can get to Hellfire Club in Ireland, in Dublin, go and do it. It doesn't cost you nothing. It's free because it's just, you know, like abandoned. But go during the week, not weekends, and you won't have some Eastern Europeans having a party while you're trying to investigate in the other room. Yeah, or having Mr. Bean walking around downstairs staring at us. But crazy. Yeah, I don't stop talking about it. Yeah, I say that pub sounds awesome. The stories, and obviously with the pirates and that's awesome anyway. Have you ever been possessed by a spirit? No, I have not. I've potentially seen one of my friends become sort of possessed and acting very, very strange and out of character and actually hurting himself in a way that I would not like to do. So who knows? It appeared that he was like that, but whether he was possessed, I don't know. Hellfire is free. It comes with a good workout. Yeah, take 7 bags of food and equipment up that forest. You know, it's not good for the old heart, that one. She really doesn't. So she does continuously talk about it. Oh, what pub should we go to this week? I want to go there. But yeah, why not? Why not talk about it all the time? If you love the place, you know, you have that connection like we've been talking about. You have to have that location, that connection with a location. Then why not? You know, you enjoy it, it makes you happy. You can learn about it as well, learn new things. Because I'm sure we don't know everything about the locations that we go to. There's always somebody that knows. Shut up, you. Yeah, Kev. Or she's talking about me. We'll go with Kev, I think. Oh dear. But yeah, it's yeah, where else have I been that I'd love to go back to? Like Rich said, Cannock Chase with the black-eyed children and the werewolves, the aliens, Slender Man. Definitely a place that I will be going back to probably next year, 2025. I'm sure I will be back there. I do like outside locations. One, they're free normally, and you haven't got to be ripped off by a company. And also, I think nature, you know, natural. There's nothing creepier than a forest and a woods. Obviously, you've got animals there, you've got birds there, you've got natural sounds there, branches falling on the floor. But you still think there's a demon behind you because it's dark and it's scary, and you know, it just puts you on edge for the whole night. Have any of you done the Ripper Walk and gone into the pub? The Bell, it's brilliant. Has so much going on with the spirits. I've never been on any Ripper Walk, to be fair. I would like to. I am quite interested in Jack the Ripper. It's something that I've not really had any involvement in of any location, I don't think, that I've been to. Apart from at the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre, I worked with George somebody. He was the police surgeon to Jack the Ripper's victims. So that's the only connection I've ever had in my paranormal journey so far to Jack the Ripper. Rendlesham Forest. Now that is a location again next year. I intend to go there. I love aliens. I love UFO stories. I love the fact that this aircraft, flying saucer, whatever it was, came down in the forest where the military were, and it was such a true story that they put a massive flying saucer in the woods, you know. And I've heard a few stories on Uncanny about that. It's such a, I think UFOs and the paranormal are definitely linked. I think some people are seeing spirits, but they're actually seeing UFOs, they're aliens. But then again, you've got to believe in aliens to think that. So it's just another rabbit hole to go down. Is the paranormal and other lively forms, are they linked? Who knows? Will we ever find out? Probably not. But, you know, one day maybe. I'm sure some people will capture evidence of, obviously we get UFO videos all the time, but that just could be anything from like the military that we don't really know about that they're flying. I wrote a piece on Rendlesham. I enjoyed camping overnight there. Yes, that's what I want to do. That must have been such an awesome night. I'd love to go UFO spotting as well in like the mountains in Wales. I can't remember what it's called. Is it Bloomsbury or something? Something like that. Bloomsbury Hill in Wales. Someone help me out. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I think Blossom Hill, something like that. Yeah. That's what I sort of remember. Someone told me about it once and they said that they'd been there. But that was a long time ago, so I've probably completely got it wrong. But it is definitely something I'd like to do. And I think, obviously, frequencies, can we capture an audio, an EVP of alien voices? Do you reckon that would happen? Come on, Kev, you're here. If, say, for example, you're out in the forest, the mountain, you are UFO spotting. Do you see a UFO? Yeah, flying in the sky, which people do quite a lot in these places. If you had a recorder out, do you think you'd be able to capture voices of aliens? That'd be crazy, you know, capturing other life forms. That'd be their voices. That'd be something I'd like to do. The block was an amazing location. Did you ever do that one, Miki? Old factory in Burton-on-Trent, I think it was, super haunted. I did do the block. I actually have footage of the block and when we filmed there, but it's never been released. I need to make a video of that. But yeah, that place was amazing. The top floor, right in the corner, we were there and we were hearing like footsteps around us. And there was about seven, 8 of us there. But we were all in different parts. Now, obviously, people that have been to the block, it's a very, very big location. Sadly, it's not there anymore. And when we were split up, I think we were in like teams of 2 or 3. So there was only a few of us. And yeah, everybody was accounted for. But it was such a creepy place. And one I would like to have gone back to be fair. So it's a shame it's not there. Bloomsbury. Okay, Bloomsbury, not Blossom. Same thing. Bloomsbury. Okay then, yeah. So that's definitely a place that I would like to go and visit. Lived on the 19th floor of a huge building growing up. Looked over huge field, woods. The things I saw in the sky at night, I can't explain. That's what I'm saying. Who's to say that? I think everybody sort of accepts that there's UFOs flying around, Because when NASA did that live link to the moon, they had to keep shutting it off because there was like spaceships flying around the moon. They kept turning it off. So I think we've established that there are UFOs, but what they are, they're not going to tell us. I reckon they're just military planes that we don't really know what they are doing with them, technology. But then again, I'm not naive enough to say that there's no aliens in this universe, because there's such a vast, unlimited amount of space out there. There's got to be other life forms, really. No, but you might be able to with a receiver of some sort. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't mean like a little voice recorder. Please talk to me. But you get my gist. If we could get a receiver that would be big enough to capture the voices of aliens, I mean that'd be like the holy grail of EVP, wouldn't it? Game changer. That's definitely something I'd like to be involved with. I want to do Shepton Mallet. It had the craze there. I'm doing Shepton Mallet next year. I think it's in July next year. I've never been there. I was supposed to be going this year, but it got cancelled, so I couldn't go. But like I said, I will be going next year, definitely. Metal colander and tin foil works, honest. Now, do you wear the tin foil on your head? Is that what you do? You stick it on? That's to protect you from the aliens invading your head and eating your brains. Is it, Rich? Area 51. Let's break in and do an episode. Wow. You get the camo guys coming out shooting you. You don't want to mess with them. They've got machine guns. But I do like watching Area 51 videos on YouTube. And these YouTubers, they just go and try and get in the back gate, don't they? And they see the camo dudes, as they say. And yeah, I would like to do it, but I don't want to be shot. These Americans are a bit crazy with their guns and all that. So it's not something that I would be happy to get involved with. Not that close anyway. But yeah, definitely Area 51 is something that, again, aliens that I'm into, and I'd love to find out some more about that. Calvert and Hatch is another location for myself that I have been to, and I always thought to myself, why would that be haunted? Because that's obviously a bunker to protect you. Who would be dying down there, and why would it be haunted? But it is such a creepy and massive place. How they built that 150 foot underground is amazing. And the size of it. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome place. I want to go back there. Bodmin Jail is pretty epic too. Yes, that is. I've only been in the daytime. I have captured, I believe, an image of a spirit in a photo. I was there. Who was I there with? I think my first wife, maybe. That doesn't sound good, does it? I was with somebody anyway, and we were looking around, and we were outside in the outside jails cells. Obviously, it's changed now. It's been made into like a hotel bit, but outside, and I was standing with my back against the big, massive, flat-facing wall with all the different levels on. You could see all the windows, and yeah, there was a figure standing at the top looking down at me. They were all in white, and now I believe there was no one else there in the building because it was all locked up, and they were coming outside to lock the cells that we were in before we went home. Now, I mean, it may have been a person, a real living person, but it looks very creepy anyway. That's a suicide forest, isn't it? In Japan. Definitely a place. Now, if you want real energy, it's definitely a place to go. Yes, Kev. Yeah, I think we should all do a camping trip to Japan Actually, me and Mark were going to go there, weren't we, Mark? We were going to go to Japan, but it costs like £900 for a ticket. So I thought, no, maybe not. We'll go Ireland instead. Definitely a place to go to, though. I know I'll totally shit my pants. Bit uncomfortable though, Kev. All lava. Yes, only if it erupts, which I'm sure it doesn't erupt. Yeah, I've been twice to investigate and had physical experiences both times, being touched, and I don't get that often. Is that at Calvert and Hatch, Lorian? Sorry, we're sort of jumping up and down different. I'm just rambling different stories here. Yeah, Kev's going to get melted by lava, I think. Calvert and Hatch is amazing. A city underground, amazing place. Residual energies there. Yeah, it's such a vast amount of corridors and rooms. I was shocked how big it was when I first went there. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my mind is. I'm just so confused, mate. Yes, Bodmin Jail. Yes, so you've been twice to investigate. Oh, okay. Is that since they've done a refurb or before when it was like the old version of it? It's definitely a place that I would like to investigate. I've done Jamaica Inn a couple of times, and I slept in room 4, but I didn't see the Tricon Hat Man staring at me while I'm asleep, so that's a good thing. So yeah, Bodmin Jail is on my list. I need to speak to Jem down there if they're still doing events there. Once before and once after, definitely still active after restorations. So that is obviously at Bodmin Jail, because they've turned the old cells into hotel rooms. So you are basically sleeping where these criminals and prisoners were kept. So you have their potential energies of their fear, you know. Not a good sleep, I would imagine. Did you sleep there, Lorian? Let us know what it was like to sleep there. Mark's gone, he's watching wrestling in his wife fronts. Not again. My God. I thought it was a bit one-way conversation there. He could have said bye, couldn't he? St Anne's Hill Chertsey is good for ghost hunt and the pub next door. I've not heard of that one. Where's Chertsey? If you could let us know where Chertsey is, that would be great. I do like to go to new locations, but I've not heard of that one. St Anne's Hill, is that like an outdoor place? Is there a building on the hill? What sort of place is it? Anyone investigated Gloucester Prison? I haven't. It is on my list that I would like to do as well. I just want to do a prison with proper old cells, the metal cells it's shut. I think ever since watching programs with Alcatraz in, it's sort of sparked an interest in me of going to like prison on my own account, not being put there. No, I haven't slept there. This is Bodmin Jail, but I'd love to. Need to rob a bank first. Used to be about £400 a room. Oh my God. Cornwall tax. I've heard good things about Gloucester Prison. Yeah, I'm sure you have. I mean, you got Shrewsbury Prison, Gloucester Prison, Shepton Mallet. Obviously, Derby Jail is very small. The old prison in Holbeach, somewhere near there. I went there the other month, near Oxford Way. No, it's not Holbeach. That's up near Spalding. So there's a few prisons that are technically prisons, but they're not like the old traditional Eastern State Penitentiary, Shepton Mallet type prisons, and I want to be in one of those. Oh, it's near Thorpe Park. Okay, nice. It's a forest. Sounds good. I love outdoor locations, like we've all said. It's puts you on edge when you're in there, because you never know. You have to be more fearful of the living than the ghosts, I think, when you're out in public, them sort of locations. Yeah, me too, Kevin. Looks brilliant. Gloucester Prison. Yeah. Nice. We were at Northleach Prison Saturday. Not great, but others had things happen. That's probably the same place I'm on about. Is it it's called the Old Prison, right? And it's like you walk in the main entrance and you've got a courtroom just there. Is that right? And you can go around the back and you've got prison cells upstairs, like two floors of old cells. Is that right? Galleries is Justice is epic, and it has the cells. I want to go there. Never been there though. Definitely a place I want to go to. Near me. What is near you, Rich? Is that Chertsey one? St Anne's Hill? Is that near you? Did you get much at Salsey Forest? I did. Salsey Forest is awesome. If you have a chance to go there at night, park in the lay-by across the road from the cafe. You don't have to pay then. You don't have to worry about your car being locked in there when they shut the barrier. And technically it's public right of way, so you can stay there all night. It is such a creepy place at night. The animals are very loud. It's a place that I would not like to be on my own. Let's just say that. Lots of noises, whether paranormal, whether natural, I don't know. Very, very good responses though on equipment. So, yeah. The Old Prison, yeah, that's it. I really like that. Oh yeah, of course you were there the other day. I saw it on Facebook. Yeah, that old building on the end. I can't remember what it's called. When you've got the upstairs and downstairs, it's just empty, isn't it? That was quite good upstairs. The top floor upstairs. We were seeing strange shadows coming on from like the other side of the room. We're trying to debunk where they're coming from, whether it was cars outside, whether it was someone in like a passing house or something that had turning lights on and off, or gardens or anything like that. Could not really figure out where the lights were coming from or where the shadows were coming from. So I thought that was quite interesting. The courtroom was a bit boring, to be fair. Sorry. Would love to be locked in one of them old cells. Yeah. As long as someone come to let you out. Anyway. Question: why do you think prisons are so active? Do you think it's all the sadness and pent up energy never being spent? I do. I think I'm a big believer in like energies that we have when we pass, and we put that energy into like structures like buildings, etc. I'm a big believer in that. And obviously in prison it's not a nice place. Lots of fear. Fear is very, very strong emotion, and it can affect a lot of people, and it does affect a lot of people. And I do think that you can imprint that onto objects. So that's the first thing. Fear. Maybe they were tortured in some prisons, attacked, killed. Lots of people die in prison. And a lot of the time they're not expecting it. So there's the shock as well, and the energy is so raw. And definitely, Rich, I definitely think that. I've not been to one on investigation though. What, a prison? Have you ever been to the old Dower House in Badby Woods? No, I haven't. I've been trying to find that Dower House for ages. I haven't been able to find it, which is really annoying. Isn't that supposed to be the first house ever made or built in Northamptonshire? But yeah, I've heard Badbury Woods is active. is quite a creepy place, but the Dower House is a place I would like to go to. So if you can let me know where it is, that'd be brilliant. The police station, yeah. Everyone who was sensitive was saying that top floor was active and it was the only place people had experiences. Yeah, the cells were all right at that old prison, but the rest of it, not so much. I mean, there was a few people there. We weren't in big groups, though. There was only like 4 of us in a group. So, or pissed. You'd like to be locked in one of my old cells, or pissed for being locked up. Yeah. But yeah, Kev, that I thought it was a good location though. I think with less people, it would be really good. But then again, you can say that about most locations. Sometimes we can only go to these places on a public event or with team shares, unfortunately, just because of the pricing. And it's absolutely ridiculous. But it is, if it is less people, I'm sure activity, or you could definitely prove some accounts of activity anyway with less people there. Have you been to the Blair Witch Woods and the Witch's House? Would love to go there and sleep there. Is that in Maryland in America? Because I was due to go there back in 21, but I got COVID just before I left. The week before I was going to America, I got COVID, and obviously they were doing them lateral flow tests, weren't they, at the airport? So yeah, I had already booked the Conjuring House. I'd booked that. We'd booked the Hinsdale House. That was all booked as well. We were going to the Blair Witch Woods. We were going to Salem Witch Museum, Eastern State Penitentiary, and Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. So all those bucket list locations we were going, me and Mark, West London Paranormal, were going. Unfortunately, I got COVID the week before. So, yeah, and that's how I ended up going to Ireland and experiencing the Hellfire Club. So maybe it was meant to be, eh? No, the UK one. I don't know where the Blair Witch Woods are in the UK. Or there's a house in Northamptonshire called the Witch's House. Now, there's a couple of people I know that know where it is and have been there, but they can't get onto the site. So, yeah, I was gutted. Blair Witch, fake. Obviously it's fake, but the woods are not fake. The woods are there. So, who knows? Like we say, Rich, woods are awesome places to investigate. Natural outside locations. So, yeah, obviously I know the Blair Witch is not a real story. It's a film. But like I said, the location is a real place. So it's definitely one that I would, just to the fact it was there and we were going to tick it off our list. I was also going to go to the Amityville house as well. So, but yeah, I'm gutted. Really gutted that trip never happened. But, it is what it is. Although there is a haunted house in Maryland called Griggs House, don't think that's in the woods though. Google that story. Okay. Yeah. I always said Bobby Mackey's for my bucket list, but that's been demolished. I think that got torn down last week or the week before. I know demolition has started, if not finished. But yeah, but we only think of Bobby Mackey's because of Ghost Adventures. If it wasn't for that TV show, we wouldn't have heard of Bobby Mackey's. We wouldn't have heard of the well that's down in the basement. It would just be like a music place, really. But then again, a lot of teams have been there. YouTube, TV, So over the years, we've got to know the stories. But yeah, that's definitely one that I would like to have experienced. And unfortunately, I don't understand why they keep knocking these places down. I really don't. I mean, because you can make a fortune off paranormal teams, YouTubers. You know, if you own these buildings, you make your killing that way. You know, we're going back to like the overpriced locations. I think Shrewsbury Prison, yeah, I got told it was going to be $3,500 to rent that place for a night. £3,500 for Shrewsbury Prison. I ain't doing it. Rip off. Where do spirits go next? What do you mean? What? So you're saying from human being alive to death, then into spirit, and then where does the spirit go? If we are saying that spirit and your energy, your soul, your spirit goes into the afterlife and floats about, going to these locations, where does it go after that? I suppose that would be... Oh, wait there, sorry. Now it's been demolished. Okay. Donut. Well, you know, spirits, what? That's just a natural thing. Help me out here. They stay on the land. So I suppose whatever's there is going to be haunted anyway. If Bobby Mackey's was so haunted. You can't get rid of... I don't know why Zach got rid of the demon house. Ooh, demon house. Because the spirits are still on the land anyway. Glenham House is meant to be really good and very haunted. I think I've heard of Glenham House. The spirits, they go in between. In between, yeah. Yeah, Charlie, where is the Blair Witch Woods in the UK, please? That's what I'd like to know. I'm sure you haven't answered that. If you have, I do apologise. No, you haven't. Yeah, I'd be interested to know where the Blair Witch Woods are in the UK. Because I might go camp there. I would love to go do a ghost at Hampton Court Palace. No, that'd be epic. Or Windsor Castle. If you go Hampton Court Palace, you might see this ghost of Henry VIII. I'm sure that's the one it's supposed to haunt there. Windsor Castle, yeah, that'd be good. Imagine the Queen going back there as spirit. Does Charlie mean Cannock Chase? As in the Blair Witch Woods? I suppose you could say that. So many different supposedly haunted creatures, you know, entities that are supposed to be in Cannock Chase. Definitely wouldn't want to see a werewolf though. Definitely not. But yeah, Cannock Chase is definitely one of those locations. It's so big. And the stories of the children being buried there, and some of them possibly murdered there as well. Such tragedy and such horror. That's not good. But again, getting back to energies, that would leave that place full of horrible negative energy anyway. So maybe people pick up on that. Does that mean it's more haunted if it's negative? Who's to say? Is evil more active than happy? I suppose. Who knows? But again, has anyone ever experienced negativity on ghost hunts? You get told before the night starts, public ones anyway, that this man is supposed to be here. He's a horrible man. He doesn't like women. He doesn't like blonde women. And he's round the corner and he sits in that room. You ever get that? It's always a bloke. I had some friends going camp there, but I will find out where it is in 1 minute. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you could let us know, that'd be great. But if it is Cannock Chase, then yes, people definitely need to go there. Who's been to Cannock Chase? I know Rich has. He went with me. But yeah, definitely one I'll be going back to next year. Paralytic Activities is in the building. What beer have you got tonight, boys? Let us know. What ale's in the hand? Loads of times and not dogging. What, Cannock Chase? Yeah, it's definitely a place to investigate at least once in your life, if you remember it. But yeah, and you can try not to get lost anyway. I'm on the wagon. Nice. Yeah, that's good. Be healthy. You know, Christmas is on its way, so definitely one to get ready for. Right, Reuben Jones. Hello. Hey Mickey, there's a woods near me in Grimsby, Lincolnshire called Bradley Woods. Apparently it's haunted by a ghost named the Black Lady of Bradley Woods. Would be great to see you in these parts. Nice. That sounds good. Definitely, I do like haunted woods and forests. It's I do like them. Like I said, the natural energy, it's so creepy, and it puts your senses on a higher level than, say, you're in like an old museum or a manor house. To Saturday, then doing another haunted pub crawl. Oh wow! It was going so well until Saturday. What is it? Monday to Friday, you're a good boy, yeah. And then Saturday and Sunday comes, and it's, you know, the shackles are off, the beer is flowing. Every pub I've worked in has been creepy as fuck. I imagine, because most of them are old, they've got lots of years of history, stories. Sorry guys, my throat is killing me today. And I know I shouldn't be drinking Pepsi Max Mango either, but it's nice. Yeah, lots of pubs are haunted. Lots of creepy cellars, old bedrooms. You know, there's always a story in a pub where the old landlord died there, or someone died in that bedroom. And it's supposedly the original bed that's still there, and it's like, whoa. Yeah. Bit like Jamaica Inn, it just looks haunted. It just looks everything that you have to tick a box to make haunted. That is it. Nothing worse than a cellar by yourself at night. I've done that a few times. Very good. Charlie, you mean the UK version of the Blair Witch is Forest of Dean, Gloucestershire? Is that where that is? Can't beat a pub visit with Lorian. Does she remember it? Does she get on the old beers, the old cocktails? Or is it for professional circumstances? But yeah, you can have a cheeky drink, I think, on a ghost hunt. Just not before. Afterwards is all good. Yeah. Nice meal in a haunted pub. I love that. You know. They did a UK version called the Dean Project. Are you Googling that? Because that sounds very good. She can almost outdrink me, I think that means, while telling me the history of the ghost stories. So there's Kev getting sloshed while Lorien is drinking as well and telling him everything about all the ghost stories and the history, when it was built, when that building was put in, when that wall was put in. That's brilliant. I love that. Always professional. Of course. You know, that's the best way to be. I'm professional. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, definitely pubs. Pubs are creepy. And there's, like I said, there's so much energy in a pub as well, like a prison. Obviously not the same sort of energy, but I do think energies do play a massive part in why locations are haunted. Love a good creepy cellar. Definitely. There was one in my hometown in Northampton called the Old Black Lion, and this pub is at least 300 years old, maybe more. I can't remember now. It was a long time ago. I used to be there every week. I'd go there with my family to have like meals in the evening. I'd go there 2 or 3 times a week, ghost hunting. We had the function rooms, we had the cellar, 2 cellars, a tunnel as well in it. Absolutely epic. So I know what you mean. Wait for my book to come out one day. I'm ready. Got my glasses ready to read it. Hey, evening, John. Is it John or is it Neil? That's what I want to know. We're doing 3 haunted 15th century pubs. Look out for the video. Wigan Pen has a lush, gory history. Yes, the Wigan Pen in Northampton. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Lorien is from these parts as well. So she probably knows more than I do. Well, I'm sure she does know more than me. So Kev. But yeah, I've been in the Wigan Pen. I've had a few drinks in there a few times, but I've never ghost hunted there. I tried to get in there, and the landlord at the time said didn't want nothing to do with paranormal stuff. My customers don't like it, so we were told to go away. Really, we tried to hire it out, possibly on a night, evening, like a Sunday or whatever, when they're not open. But no, they wouldn't have it. But no. So in question, any ghosts? In what? In the Wigan Pen? I'm sure Lorien knows about the ghosts in the Wigan Pen. Or look out for maybe you're talking about the 15th century pubs. Look out for the video. Same question. Any ghosts? Oh, when you're out. Yeah, everywhere we go. When you're out with Lorien, yeah. Is this place haunted? Can I have a look round? Why not? You've got nothing to lose if you're just going to ask. Definitely. I'd do that. You know. That's the advantage of doing what we do. Wherever we go is a potential haunted location, a potential ghost hunt, a potential paranormal investigation there. So, yeah. Go around, take some photos. Make sure your flash is off. You don't know orbs in your pictures. So, but yeah. There's some amazing pubs. Definitely. I know the Talbot Hotel is not a pub, as it were, in Oundle. I was there the other week, and it's a place that I would like to investigate. It's the one with Mary Queen of Scots' supposedly staircase from Fotheringay Castle. And I'm sure Lorien can fill us in on that. Always turns into shenanigans. Why am I wearing headphones? I don't know why I'm wearing headphones, to be fair. Because I look cool with headphones on, Rich. There you go. No, normally I have them on to speak to the guests, but there's no guests. So, yeah, I suppose, why do I have headphones in? Shut up. But yeah, going back to Oundle, the Ship Inn as well is supposed to be haunted. I was trying to have a look in there the other week. It's a good place. I love old villages that are very historic very picturesque, especially in autumn anyway. You know, you can't beat the autumn colours on the ground, the leaves, the oranges, the yellows, the reds. A nice chilly day, a haunted pub in the village. You know, you can't beat that. That's just heaven for me. The ship is cool. Is it good? I've never, like I said, I've not been in there to ghost hunt or even to be in there, but it looked good when we were walking past. I was taking some photos, thinking, "Oh wow, I'm sure people have been in there because I've heard about the ship in." So it is definitely a place I would like to go. But then again, the Talbot Hotel has always been on the paranormal database, as it were. It's like going into an old ship. Standard, I suppose. The ship come in, looks like a ship. You know, does exactly what it says on the tin. So yeah, that's good. It's definitely, like I say, I would like to go there one day. So have you been in there to investigate, Kev, or is it just to watch Laurie and talk about ghosts? There was a pub by me where the cellars, it used to be the court where they sentenced criminals in the 17th century. Wow, the cellars must be big then. Or was it like a secret court? Off to La La Land now, opportunity for work. See you later, Rich. Thank you, sir, for joining again. See you another time. Night, Rich. You went in the ship in just to taste a bit. Why not? There's nothing wrong with that. Take it steady, Rich. Yeah, see you in a bit. Would you ever visit and make videos in more haunted houses like East Drive? Haunted houses seem to creep me out more than big historical buildings. I think it's because you can relate to them more. Yeah, you can relate to normal houses because, you know, it's just the everyday council estate house as it was back in the day. East Drive, I've been there 5 times. Only ever really had one thing that was possible. Really, I don't believe in the hype, to be fair. I used to, but I wanted to experience it for myself. The Talbot Hotel, spent the night, very eerie. Were you on a ghost hunt, Shell, or were you just staying there and the room was creepy? Because it is a place I'd like to go to. But I'm sure they're not going to let you investigate the staircase. But I've heard that's not true anyway, about Mary Queen of Scots. See you later, John. If that is you, John, thanks for popping by. Just staying. Okay, just stay in the night. Rock on. Rock on, Tommy. But yeah, going to the Talbot next year to investigate. Nice. So what exactly are you allowed to investigate? What do you get? Do you get like a haunted room? Is it certain function rooms? The cellar? Because obviously a lot of haunted hotels you can hire out the honeymoon suite that's supposed to be active. Yeah, right. No idea Karen's organised it at the Talbot. Okay. Stay in the night though. Yeah. So yeah, you can normally hire out the haunted room in the hotel. I've done that near me at the Hind Hotel in Wellingborough. It's definitely a place to investigate. Night all. See you later. Thanks for joining this evening. I have thought about that, going to these haunted hotels in this country and just hiring out a room, investigating in the bedroom, and then trying to sneak around the corridors with my camera. Night rain. I agree. I think 30 East Drive is a bit of a scam. I wouldn't say it's a scam. I would say at the beginning, when people weren't there every single night, every of the year and every year going, I think it'd be a bit better. But hate Wellingborough. Grew up near there, so I know the place. Justin, welcome along. I work in Wellingborough. My cemetery is in Wellingborough. So if you're ever passing by, come in and say hello, and I'll dig you a grave for you. To make it in, explicitly forbid it. What, walking around the corridors? Oh shit, it's Justin. Hey dude. I'm sure you guys can see all these comments. I'm just reading them out anyway. Great Fosters is haunted as well. Virginia Water. Oh. What an offer. Piss off, Kev. I know, mate. It's, you know, only the best for us local folk, as it were. Yeah, investigating when you just booked a room. Well, I'm going to investigate the room I've booked anyway, because I can do what I want in that room. But the corridor, you can have a little sneaky little camera in the corner, you know, filming away. You know, I don't see the point. If you're not intruding on people and the corridors are empty, why not? Why can't you just stand there and just ask out if it's quiet? Obviously, don't disrupt other people sleeping. But who's going to know, really? Just imagine this, yeah? Everyone's asleep in their rooms and you're in a corridor and you say, is there anybody there? And someone, fuck off, you woke me up. Oh my God, it's a ghost. Or some people would anyway. How is Justin? We'll find out. I've actually just before this started filming this podcast with you lovely people, I was watching Justin's episode of his podcast with Simon Entwistle talking about the Pendle Witches. Awesome video. My hometown is Rawns, not too far from. Okay. Oundle. Yeah, that's not that far. Was it half hour, if that? It's but yeah, Oundle's such a lovely village. Absolutely picturesque. Love it. We're watching the DSC one after this. Nice. I think everybody's hopping on the old Paranormal Monkey podcast. One of the best ones out there. I'll watch it every week. Normally when I'm mowing grass at work, and I can put my headphones in, put the ear defenders on, start up the mower, and just listen away. But yeah, a bit of advertising there for you, Justin. Everyone go and subscribe to the Paranormal Monkey podcast. Yeah, I think when Justin first launched it, I went through all these episodes one after another. So I'm gonna go through them all. But yeah, you've had some awesome guests on there. So, but yeah. So thank you, Justin, for keeping me entertained at work. I do appreciate it, mate. Yeah, don't scare. Claire was great. Better to look at the old rockstar lookalikes. Kev. Oh dear. Yeah. I agree. Obviously, we're talking about the ghosts and the stories. Definitely, yeah. You better still have that goatee. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a goatee. But yeah, one location I'd like to go to is the Island of the Dolls in Mexico. Obviously, I have a haunted doll thing, as it were. So, definitely something that I would like to experience. It's so creepy, just left there. Is it on Spotify, Justin? I'm not sure if it is. I think it may be just on YouTube at the moment. Have you ever done any ghost hunts abroad? Yeah, I've done Scotland and Ireland, if you call them abroad anyway. If so, what's the creepiest place experience? Hellfire Club in Dublin. Absolutely horrific, creepy, evil place. Not anywhere as impressive as Miki. Well, my goatee is just getting longer and longer. I'm seeing how long I can go. People keep calling me ZZ Top. No, just on YouTube. Okay. There you are, Charlie. It's just on YouTube. That's work right there. Yeah, so Edinburgh Vaults is a place I always wanted to get into, but it seems really tricky to book that place. Have you checked out most haunted places around Northamptonshire by now? I think I have. The places like the National Trust and English Heritage, some of those sites I haven't been able to investigate, just for obvious reasons, really. They don't let you. If they do, they're a rip-off in price, and they're not open at night. So, most places around the area, yeah, there's some good ones. Next week, I am off to, where is it? Ghostoul Nunnery. Some of you guys may have heard of that. Ghostoul Nunnery in Wolvercote. Wolvercote? Yeah, I'm going there next week. So it's an abandoned old abbey with some ruins. It was quite active last time I went, but I think last time I went was about 12 years ago. So it's definitely a place I want to go again. Like I say, outside locations are more creepy than inside, just for the fact you've got to deal with the public. So it puts you on edge. But yeah, that place is quite good, quite active. So looking forward to going back. And where else am I going? Alcester Manor House. Alcester? Is that right? That is south of Birmingham. I don't know if anyone's been there. I'm going there in a few weeks as well. That's a public event. But it's a small group, so there's loads of abbeys and nunneries around Northamptonshire for some reason. Yeah, there is, and I think a lot of them, unfortunately, are no longer there because our council, as you probably know, like to demolish and destroy the history and the really creepy locations for us paranormal folk, and it does my head in. We had so much history, and we don't celebrate our local history either. Some of the places we have are amazing, but they're not spoken about, they're not published about, and it just gets lost. And they think, oh, no one cares about that, we'll knock it down. And then you find out later, oh, there used to be this here, and it's like, wow, why did they knock it down? Does my head in. Kimbolton Castle has a great ghost story, that of Catherine of Aragon. Nice. Have you been there? Like I say, any castle is good with me. The castles in Wales. Now they are amazing. The way the Welsh government look after their castles is amazing. I must have been to about 10, 11 castles in Wales ghost hunting. Because most of them are just derelict and left. So you can go there at night. It's amazing. I think I've been to Ogmore Castle, Flint Castle, Ewloe Castle, Rudland Castle. The one that I'm a Celebrity was at, Gurwich Castle, Denby Castle. Where else have I been to? There's another couple as well. Just amazing how they restore them and just look after them and keep them from falling down. But I think our heritage this side of the border could do with some tips. It's now a very posh school, but apparently the ghost can only be seen from the knees up. Died to the level of due to the level of the flooring changed since Tudor times. Oh, I see. That's Catherine of Aragon, yeah? That's crazy. I don't know why Berry Pomeroy got the reputation it has, though. I don't know. Where's that? I don't know that one. I've heard of it, but I couldn't tell you where it was. Pomeroy. That sounds like a Welsh place. I do apologise if it's not, but yeah, we have some amazing locations in this country. People always go on about America and abroad, but I think we don't celebrate the locations we have in this country as much as we should. I'm curious, if you were abroad doing a ghost hunt, say in Spain, would the ghosts not be able to understand you due to language barrier? Or does the afterlife even have a language? It's always sort of said that they can understand the language and reply in the language that you speak. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I've never investigated a foreign land where I've had to speak a different language, or the supposed spirits are from a different country and speak a different language. It's in Cornwall, sorry, or Devon. Meant to be the most haunted castle in the country. Ah, okay. I broke into Berry Pomeroy Castle as a teenager looking for ghosts, and an owl swooped over my head. I nearly shat myself. That sounds like a scene from Harry Potter. Justin's a naughty boy. I like that. I've never heard of that castle though, to be fair. Well, Justin was a naughty boy when he was younger then, looking for them ghosts as a teenager. I wish I was into ghosts and that then. Definitely some locations that I would have gone into around my way, but unfortunately not really available now. But yes, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Hour and 27 minutes in. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. It means so much to me. Like I say, my podcast is very small, but you guys are lovely and amazing, and I really appreciate it. So anybody that's watching this on catch up, please go and subscribe. It means the world to me. Leave me some nice comments. Leave these guys some lovely comments who have been commenting on the video. It means so much to me. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Lorian. Cheers, Mr. Kev. Like I say, next week's guest is Paul Allen from Unusual Things, the grave connoisseur of the UK. He is my guest. He is an awesome man. Lots of stories, and yes, he's been to some very, very strange places. So make sure you tune in for that next Tuesday. We'll see you there. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next week. See you later. Thank you.